Virtual reality is a medium that can completely stretch the confines of the human experience. It allows us to create experiences that would be physically impossible otherwise, and allow us to perceive these experiences in a fully immersive 3D environment. We can see life through the eyes of an astronaut or an action hero, or we could use it to create art that's completely untethered from the laws of physics. Many of the most mind-bending sights I've had the pleasure to see were built in virtual reality. Speaking as someone who has spent hundreds of hours with a headset strapped to my face, I'll be the first to tell you that this is hands down one of the best and easiest ways to get your mind blown. But people who spend a lot of time in VR, weirdly enough, are not usually doing this kind of stuff on the regular. When I first started dipping my toes into virtual reality, I was surprised to learn that most people are using this incredible hardware to just sit and talk in the equivalent of a virtual pillow fort. Let's back up. Context first. So, what do people even do in virtual reality? Given the nature of the medium, you might expect exciting, high-octane games to be the most popular virtual reality activities. After all, virtual reality lets you actually swing a sword with your own two hands or dodge an attack with your physical body. And yet one of, if not the most popular VR applications for several years running is VRChat. If you're not already familiar, VRChat is less of a game and more of a platform. It allows users to create and upload their own virtual worlds and avatars for others to enjoy. Pretty much anything that can be made in Unity can be uploaded to VRChat, including me. I'm in VRChat right now. There is an unfathomable variety of content lurking on VRChat's servers. There are countless free games, immersive art exhibits, venues for live entertainment, strip clubs. Hearing all of that, you might expect that VRChat maintains its position as one of the most popular VR applications thanks to all of these exciting experiences. And yet, if you scroll through the most popular worlds in VRChat at any given time, you'll start to notice some common themes. Cozy, chill, lo-fi, relax, sleep? Yes, despite the limitless potential of this medium to deliver upon the impossible, the vast majority of popular content is dark, moody, and cozy. It's like the entire virtual reality population has decided that when given the tools and resources to create anything we could possibly imagine, at the end of the day, all we really want is to sit in a pillow fort with our friends. But why is that? Well, as a pillow fort enjoyer myself, I have some theories. Number 1, we're lazy. Despite the infinite possibility for action and fitness experiences in VR, at the end of the day, this is just not a very comfortable way to work out. Don't get me wrong, there is a dedicated community of people specifically using VR to get fit. But let me tell you, having this big, heavy thing strapped to your face is not exactly comfortable on the best of days. Add some sweat into the mix, and this hobby can get kind of gross fast. Beyond that, let's face it, a huge chunk of the virtual reality loving demographic are usually pretty far down the gaming rabbit hole too. Not to generalize, but we aren't exactly known as the most inclined to exercise. Also, many of the most active long-term VRChat players are adults with jobs. Or on the younger side, there are also a lot of full-time students. Point being, we're tired. Sitting is good, okay? According to a report from AR Insider, only about 1/3 of VR users actually put their headsets on more than once per month. There are a lot of quests sitting around and collecting dust. There are a number of reasons for this, but we can't deny that many people don't really want to exert themselves just to play a game. Number 2, it's called social VR for a reason. VRChat specifically falls into a virtual reality subgenre known as social VR. These applications may contain games or other activities, but the primary purpose is to facilitate social interactions between users. You're probably familiar with Meta's attempt at this genre, Horizon Worlds. Even though Horizon Worlds has been a bit of an embarrassment, the potential virtual reality has to enable genuine human connection can't be overstated. If you've stumbled upon this channel, it's very likely that you've made some friends online before. We know that these friendships can be just as real and important to us as the connections we've made in real life. But socializing in VR just hits different. You really occupy a space with another person. We can see each other's body language, we can sit on a couch and watch a movie together, and it honestly doesn't feel that different from doing this in real life. Once you add newer technology into the mix, it gets even better. With full body tracking, you can see the way that I shift my weight from side to side while I talk. With face tracking, I can look right at you. I can roll my eyes, and I can smile at you. Yes, VR lets you swing your own sword, but it also lets you interact with people online in a way no other medium can really replicate. Some of the most interesting developments over the past few years have been really leaning into this social aspect. It all looks a little uncanny right now, but this will be revolutionary for virtual connections and long-distance relationships in the future. Anyways, all that is to say, one of the most appealing aspects of virtual reality right now is the unique ways in which it lets us connect with other people. And I think that reflects pretty clearly in the types of experiences that users build for each other in VRChat. Number 3, VR is cozier than real life. I have a slightly embarrassing story for you. Before I tried VR, I actually had no interest in it. I thought, why would I want a screen strapped to my face? It seemed like a gimmick to me. But my girlfriend had been obsessed with the concept of VR for years. I remember her showing me a Kickstarter campaign way back in 2012. It was for a little project called the Oculus Rift. This was more or less the first time that anyone was seriously trying to bring modern virtual reality to average consumers. The goal for this Kickstarter campaign was $250,000. By the end of the campaign, Oculus had raised nearly $2.5 million. Apparently, I was like the only person in the whole world who wasn't very enthused with virtual reality. At the time, we weren't really in a position to invest in one of these bad boys. Not only was the headset itself out of our budget, but the Oculus Rift needed to be connected to a PC to work. Neither of us even had a PC that could manage a AAA game at a reasonable frame rate back then, so there was no real way for us to give it a try. Fast forward to 2019. My girlfriend's birthday was coming up, and I wanted to get her something really special. I racked my brain for weeks until an idea popped into my head. Wasn't she obsessed with virtual reality back in the day? I wonder what's happening with the tech now. Enter the Oculus Quest. This headset was unique in that it could run games and applications fully standalone. No PC required. Not only was this great news for a broke 20-something working a retail job, but I thought the wireless experience would really appeal to her. I pulled the trigger on the purchase and eagerly awaited her reaction when she got to open it. In hindsight, we should have captured it on video or something. She was so shocked that I would ever think to buy something like that for her. It was really heartwarming, and turns out it's also really, really funny to watch someone else while they're playing a game in virtual reality.
You have to hold up your fist up to him.
Oh, I don't want to. Oh, fuck, he's big.
Oh god damn!
The original Quest came with a tutorial game preloaded. After my girlfriend finished it, she asked if I wanted to try. At this point, I was still really, really skeptical of virtual reality, but I didn't want to disappoint her, so I pretended to be excited, and I said, sure. First Steps is a tutorial game that serves the sole purpose of orienting first-time players in virtual reality. It shows you how to use your controllers and gives some super simple examples of how someone can interact with objects in VR. The experience culminates in you getting to dance with a cute little robot guy, and the whole thing can be completed in just a few minutes. The Quest, being about as powerful as a smartphone, is only capable of some pretty basic graphics compared to its PC counterparts. There were no detailed materials, it wasn't realistic at all, and I fell in love. Not with the robot, just like with the tech itself. Anyways, when I took off the headset and looked around our little one-bedroom apartment, I felt this weird, unmistakable feeling of disappointment. As if in just those few minutes, my mind had immediately gotten used to the bright, colorful graphics and the cartoonish charm of this unrealistic world. And to be confronted by our drab reality left me feeling a very strange sense of loss in the moment that I had to confront it again. That feeling goes away with time. These days, I can bounce between these two worlds without thinking much of it. But I'll never forget the first time I experienced this weird phenomenon. The virtual world can oftentimes be more inviting, more cozy than the real world can ever hope to compare to. That's not to say that there aren't beautiful, cozy spaces in real life. Of course there are. And there will always be places in the real world that can't truly be replicated virtually. But not everyone has the privilege of being able to curate such a comforting space in their own home. Maybe you're a renter and you're not allowed to do certain things to your space. Or maybe you just can't afford it. It's hard to justify blowing a bunch of money just to make your home fit a certain aesthetic, especially in this economy. Not only that, but virtual reality lets us create spaces that are impossible in real life. Have you tried building a pillow fort lately? Let me tell you, it is not as easy as when we were kids. But in VR, things like space or size or other confines of physical reality do not apply. Number 4, everyone is lonely. You're probably tired of hearing about the loneliness epidemic at this point. Still, it's undeniable that most people are having a hard time making and keeping friendships these days. Most of us are stuck on an endless loop of waking up, going to work, coming home, and then bed rotting for a couple of hours before we go to sleep, only to get up and do it all again the next day. And when we do have days off, we are exhausted by the constant grind. We just want to sit and chill and look at a screen. Well, you're in luck. VRChat lets you do all of that, all while you get to meet people who share your interests. You don't have to get dressed, you don't have to drive anywhere, you don't even have to pay a single cent if you don't want to. Events are nearly always free to attend, and if you aren't enjoying something, you can go somewhere else with the click of a button. There's always something happening somewhere in virtual reality. There are limitless opportunities to meet new people. And once you do meet those people, you're naturally going to gravitate towards social activities, like sitting and talking. And what better place to do that than somewhere cozy, with dark, intimate lighting, closed-off spaces full of pillows and plushies. Sure, you can't actually feel any of it, but the vibes really are immaculate. People are desperate for connection, and VR can be an incredible avenue to make friends in a way that feels way more real compared to other platforms like Discord or social media. In a way, VRChat has become a virtual third space for many people online. This trend will probably only continue as the technology gets better and cheaper, and as our real-world third spaces continue to be eroded. So why am I sharing all of this? Am I just trying to indoctrinate you into the world of virtual pillow forts? No. Well, maybe. I really just wanted to analyze this particular trend because it feels so counterintuitive to what the medium of VR is capable of, particularly on a platform like VRChat, where you can be anyone or do anything. It's fascinating to me that most people just want to feel comfortable and safe and make connections with people they wouldn't normally get the chance to meet. Despite the bad rap that virtual reality and VRChat in particular have cultivated, I think it's weirdly wholesome that when given the choice, people just want to chill. If you got this far, thank you so much for choosing to watch this video. This is only the second video that we've put out so far on this channel. Most of our videos are not going to be so exclusively focused on VR chat, but we will definitely still talk about it from time to time. We're still working out exactly what this channel will be, but if you're interested in VR, virtual worlds, immersive experiences, and human behavior, you'll probably enjoy some of the topics that we're planning on covering. Anyways, thanks again, and we hope to see you next time.